Subject is Environmental Studies Part 1 of Standard 4th, and the name of the topic is A Look Inside the Body. This is Part 2. Okay, now we have already completed Part 1. In that we studied about the digestive system or the digestion process, isn't it? Now today we are going to learn about lungs, heart, brain, etc. Okay. Students, we will get the meaning of organ. See this picture. A boy is walking, isn't it? And his legs, they are helping him to walk. So we call legs as a walking organ or organs for walking. Okay. Now here you can see these eyes. We see with our eyes, isn't it? So eyes are our organs for seeing. Like that, hand and fingers are our organs for writing. And the tongue is our organ to take the taste. Okay. Now we can write like this. A part of the body that is used to perform a certain function is called an organ. Students, there are so many organs in our body and they all perform their specific function, isn't it? And here we can see two different types of organs. They are number one, external organs. Second one is internal organs. External organs. Here we can see so many body parts which we can see from outside. Means the organs that can be easily seen from the outside, they are called as external organs. Like this: head, ear, mouth, fingers, leg, toes, knee, tongue, nose, eyes, etc. we can see from outside, isn't it? So they are called as external organs. Okay. Now one more type of organs we have. See, these are called sensory organs. For example, eyes, tongue, ear, skin and nose. These 5 organs are called as sensory organs because they make us aware about our surroundings, isn't it? They give the information of surrounding to the brain. Got this, students? These all are external organs, correct? Now we will learn about internal organs. First we will see the meaning here. The organ that is situated inside our body and it cannot be seen from the outside. That is called internal organ. Now just now we gone through external organ. External means that we can see from outside. The opposite of that is internal organ. Means the organs which we cannot see from outside are called as internal organs. Students, we will go through some of the examples of internal organs. Okay. These are lungs. This is our heart. This is liver. This is our stomach. This is our brain. and these are our kidneys. Okay, here we can see lungs and kidneys. We have 2 in number, isn't it? These all are examples for internal organs. These organs we cannot see from outside of our body. Students, there are special places for internal organs. You know that there are so many internal organs are there, and each internal organ has their own place or the special place. See this is a lateral view of our body. Okay. Now here you can see a cavity, here also, here also, here also, isn't it? In these cavities the internal organs are situated. This is called cranial cavity. This is thoracic cavity and this is a diaphragm. Okay. And here this is abdominal cavity and this is a pelvic cavity. I will show you the front view also. See, this is the front view of our body. Okay. Now see, this is a cranial cavity. Okay. And this is our thoracic cavity. And this is diaphragm. And this is abdominal cavity. Cavity means there is a special place. Okay. This is a pelvic cavity. In these cavities, the internal organs are situated. And students, from this means from the thoracic cavity along with the abdominal cavity and the pelvic cavity together called as torso. What we call torso means in our human body there are 2 parts. This is cranial cavity and torso. Torso includes these 3 cavities, that is thoracic, abdominal and pelvic. Got this, students? Okay, now we will try to locate some of the organs inside our body. Okay, see here, this is our heart. Heart is situated in the thoracic cavity, a little to the left. Can you see here? Now over that, lungs are there. See these 2 lungs, one on the left and one on the right, isn't it? This is left, right, correct? And here we can see the stomach in the abdominal cavity. In the cranial cavity we can see the brain, right? And here stomach is there, small intestine, large intestine, kidneys are there and liver is there in the abdominal cavity. And in the pelvic cavity we can see urinary bladder, urethra, etc. Okay, like this. There are special places for each internal organs and they remain in their own place and they perform their functions. Got this? Students, this is a digestive system. Okay. Now here we use our mouth to eat our food, isn't it? Here the teeth, they chew the food and they make it soft. And here saliva mixes and the moist ball is prepared and it passes from the esophagus. It is a flexible duct. It passes through the esophagus and it reaches the stomach. Here there are some juices and hydrochloric acid. It breaks the food and it makes it into a small particles. Then it moves to the small intestine. Here also so many juices are there. They help to digest the food. Okay. And the undigested food passes to the large intestine and here the extra water is absorbed and the undigested waste food is expelled out from the anus. Okay. This is about the digestive system. These are all internal organs. Okay. Now dear students, you know that there is a blood in our body, right? We take in air when we breathe in. You can see here, right? Our blood carries the air to all parts of the body. Right? The food that we eat gets digested by the help of the digestive system or the alimentary canal. It is again the blood that carries the digested part to every particle of the body. Because you know that blood is flowing from head up till the toes, isn't it? It only carries the air and also the digested food to all parts of our body. For this purpose, it is necessary to keep blood flowing through the blood vessels that spread throughout the body. You can see here the red colored and the blue colored blood vessels, isn't it? It is the function of the heart to keep the blood flowing. Here the main pump house is nothing but the heart. For this, heart helps the blood to move throughout the body. We will study about the heart. The heart is an important internal organ. It is in the center of the thoracic cavity. A little to its left. You can see here, isn't it? It is slightly bigger than one's fist. See, that is fist. The walls of the heart too are flexible, means like elastic. You can see in this picture. Got this, students? You know, this is a thoracic cavity, correct? This is a thoracic cavity and heart is situated in the thoracic cavity. Students, here you can see the heart contracts and relaxes. Contracts means when it becomes smaller, that is called as contraction of heart, and when it comes to the original position, that means it relaxes. Got this? Contraction, contracts and relaxes. Because of this, the blood gushes out. We will see that one by the help of one experiment. Okay? Students, we will try this. Okay? Take a bottle made from the flexible plastic. Flexible plastic means when we press it, it moves inside. Okay, that is called flexible. Okay, now take a spent ball pen refill. Okay, third one is, here we also take out the lid of the bottle. Now make a small hole in the center of the lid of the bottle. The refill must fit tightly in the hole like this. Okay, now fill the bottle with water. Fit the lid with the refill tightly on the bottle. Make sure that most of the refill is inside the bottle and only a short tip projects outside. It will make it easier to do this experiment. Now hold the bottle upright in both hands. Press the bottle and then leave it loose. Do this 3 or 4 times. Yes, what do you see? Here we can see when the bottle is pressed, water flows out in a jet, right? And when you let it go, water stops flowing out, isn't it? You try this at your home. Very easy experiment this is. Okay. Now students, what does this tell you? Yes, guess. This tells us when pressure is applied to a liquid in a closed space, means like a bottle, the liquid will gush from wherever it finds a way out. Isn't it? When we press the bottle or we apply the pressure on the bottle, the liquid flows from that refill. It gushes out because it got the space there. So it comes out, isn't it? Now one more, try this. If you want to feel your heartbeat, place your palm a little to the left of the center of your chest. Do this action and hear the heartbeat. Shut your eyes, close your mouth and concentrate on your hand. You can feel your heartbeat. Okay? Students, this is our heart, right? The heart contracts and relaxes alternately without stopping, isn't it? When it contracts, the blood from the heart is pushed into the blood vessels. Students, you can see here the red and the blue colored blood vessels. When the heart contracts, the blood from the heart gushes out into the blood vessels. And the contraction of the heart is called a heartbeat. Got this? The contraction of the heart is called heartbeat. Okay? Students, when the heart contracts, the blood gushes out from the heart, isn't it? And every contraction, it is pushed further and further. Dear students, here you can see the red colored and the blue colored blood vessels, isn't it? Red colored blood vessels means they are called as arteries. Okay, and when the heart contracts, the blood from the heart gushes into the arteries, that is means red colored blood vessels, and it spreads throughout the body. Got this? Here we can see the circulation of the blood picture. Here we can see the blood vessels. They are spread throughout our body from our head till our toes. See this, isn't it? These blood vessels supply the pure blood to our every part of our body. Got this? Each and every part of our body gets the pure blood from the help of these blood vessels. So this is nothing but a blood circulation or the circulatory method. Okay? Students, you know how to feel the heartbeat, isn't it? Keeping your hand a little left to the on the chest, correct? Like this we can hear the heartbeat, that is the throbbing of our heart. Okay. Now here we can see this picture. Here we can feel our pulse, because in our hand there are blood vessels. They are very close to the skin. Can you see here? They are very close to the skin, so we can count the pulse rate. We can count the pulse. Okay, that is nothing but heartbeats only, but we call that one as the pulse. And on the neck also we can count our pulse. See, try this. Okay, and feel the heartbeat also, feel the pulse in the wrist and also in the neck. Okay. Do you know, children, when we are sleeping quietly, the pulse becomes slower because we are relaxing, correct? And when we are running, the pulse becomes faster. This also you can feel. Now students, we will move to our lungs. You know that lungs are our internal organs, right? When we breathe in, we take air in through the nose. The internal organs through which this air is supplied to the body are called lungs. We have two lungs, right? A pipe-like internal organ, you can see here this, a pipe-like internal organ carries the air we breathe in into the lungs. It is called a windpipe. Okay, that pipe is called as windpipe because it carries air. Okay, the windpipe then separates into two branches. See, up to here it is one, and here it separates into two branches, right? Each branch is called a bronchus. What? Bronchus. Each one is called as bronchus, and together we call as bronchi. Got this, students? Students, we will go through the location of the heart. Okay. Here we know that this is a cranial cavity, this is a thoracic cavity, this is abdominal cavity, and this is the pelvic cavity, isn't it? And this also we know that the heart and the lungs, they are situated in the thoracic cavity, isn't it? We will locate them now. This is our heart, right? This is located in the thoracic cavity, a little to the left, right? Now, these are lungs. They are situated in the thoracic cavity. One on the right and the other on the left, because we have two lungs, isn't it? The heart is between the lungs a little to the left. You can see here, right? These are lungs, so one is called as lung. There, the left lung has a slight depression. See that? The right lung is slightly bigger than the left lung, isn't it? When we breathe in, the lungs expand a little. You can see there it is expanding and it is contracting, isn't it? That is why our chest swells up when we breathe in. The air collects in the lungs, so they expand. Because of that, our chest expands in size. Okay? The functions of the heart and the lungs depend on each other. Both these internal organs are very, very important. They are situated in the thoracic cavity, we know that, inside a cage. Inside a cage made of bones called rib cage. What we call rib cage. Okay, that is why they are safe and secure. Got this, students? Now we will move to brain. Okay, the brain is situated in the cranial cavity. Yes, you know that this is a cranial cavity, thoracic cavity, abdominal cavity, and pelvic cavity. Here the brain is situated in the cranial cavity. Okay, we will locate our brain here. See, this is the front view of the brain. Okay, it is very important internal organ because it controls all that we do, and it also controls all the different organs of our body. Okay. Yes, it is our brain, and you know that brain is very important organ, isn't it? It is in the brain that we become aware of emotions such as joy, anger, sorrow, and depression, right? The meaning of the information collected by our sensory organs is also understood in the brain. Means brain is whole and soul of our body. Got this, students? Injury to the brain can make one disabled for life. It can even cause death. Hence, the brain needs to be totally protected. How our heart and lungs are protected by the rib cage, like that only our brain is also protected. Here you can see this is a skull. Correct? What is the function of the skull? The function of the skull is to protect our brain. Got that? Yes, because of this skull, our brain is safe and secure. The structure of our body is very complex. You can see here. There are large number of organs inside our body which help it to perform all its functions smoothly. See here, so many internal organs we can see. See, brain, lungs, heart, liver, stomach, these are kidneys, and large intestine, small intestine, all these we can see, isn't it? So that here, this is our complex body. Got this, students? And so many functions it carries out. Now, it is very interesting to learn about all these organs. To find out more about them as you grow up. Okay? Always remember, students, in any accident, if the head is hit, the skull can get broken. If that happens, it can cause injury to the brain. Then the person can become disabled for life or even die. That is why one must always wear a helmet when riding a motorcycle or scooter. You can see in the first picture, the man is riding a scooter without helmet. So this is totally wrong. And in the second picture, we can see a man is riding a scooter with helmet. Right? This is right one. Isn't it? The students, so always remember this thing. Okay? Now here match the following is there. Here A group is there and B group is there. Correct? Here in the A group, blood supply, breathing, carrying food to the stomach, controlling movements. And in the B group, here that organs are given like alimentary canal means digestive process, correct? Heart, brain, lungs. Now you know about the lesson and different internal organs and their functions, isn't it? Now we will try to match these. First one, blood supply. Blood supply is done by heart, isn't it? The heartbeat or the contraction and the relaxation of the heart helps to supply the blood throughout the body, right? Second, breathing. Yes, yes, very good. Lungs. Lungs are the breathing organs. Next, carrying food to the stomach. Yes, esophagus, right? Esophagus is the part of the alimentary canal, correct. Next one, controlling movements. Yes, our brain. Brain controls our movements, isn't it? Now true or false. First one, the esophagus is in the thoracic cavity, right? Correct. This is in the thoracic cavity. Second, the heart is a little bigger than our fist. Yes, this is also true. The food in the mouth forms a moist lump. Yes, correct, isn't it? When we put the food in our mouth, the teeth chew the food and the saliva mixes with the food and it make it moist lump. So it is also true. Last one, in the brain we interpret the information collected by the sensory organs. Yes, absolutely, this is also the right one. The sensory organs, they make aware about our surroundings, and they give information to the brain, and in that brain we interpret the information collected by the sensory organs, right? Next one is fill in the blanks. The internal organs that help digest food are dash. What we call? Yes, you are right. Alimentary canal. Next, we have dash lungs. How many lungs we have? 2 lungs. Correct. Every dash of the heart is called a heartbeat. Yes, you know that heart contracts and relaxes. Relaxes means coming to the original position. So here every contraction of the heart is called a heartbeat. Right? Fourth one, we become dash of all our emotions in the brain. We become aware, isn't it? We become aware of all our emotions in the brain like sorrow, joy, depression, anger, etc. Next, the structure of the human body is very complicated or complex, isn't it? The students, here in this picture we can see all the 3 systems, that is circulatory system. See here heart is pumping, okay, because of that the blood gushes out from the blood vessels. Second one is respiratory system. Here air comes inside through the nose and the lungs, they expand, right? And the third one is digestive system. Here the food enters from the mouth, it passes from the esophagus to the stomach, and the digestion process takes place.